All right, without further ado, let me welcome Carolyn to the floor. All right. Hi, Carolyn.
Hello, everyone. Hello, Facebook. Hello, friends. Nice seeing you today.
Hi.
How's everyone doing?
Great. All right. So, how are you, Carolyn? How's your MCO doing?
Staying not very still at home, doing work and catching up with a lot of things that I've missed all along due to work and all that. But I would think that it's a blessing in disguise, actually, the MCO, time to rest and catch up with a lot more learning, so that I can equip myself to battle what's ahead of us in the coming days.
Yeah. It's a time for us to prepare ourselves for next level. Yeah. Good. Yes. So, well, our topic today is Subang Jaya. I'm myself is actually used to be a Subang Jaya boy. So I stayed in Subang Jaya for about, I think, not quite sure, 5 or 6 years. So before I moved to Bukit Jalil here. So, well, by that time I moved into Subang Jaya. The whole Subang Jaya is already is quite matured already. Yeah. Then, of course, today we have Carolyn here to talk about deep, even further, okay, 20 years back, more than 20 years back, yeah, about Subang Jaya, how it started, and then the development, ongoing development, and then further on up and coming development and opportunities that we can learn through this session. All right. So Carolyn has been in this industry for more than 24 years, right? Yeah. Yeah, and she's now the principal of CBD USJ Branch. So yes, maybe Carolyn, you can share about how do you start? And I know before you come join to the real estate, you are a air stewardess.
Yes. Thank you, Derek. Well, I was actually flying for MAS. I'm actually trained in accounts, in management accountancy. And eventually I joined the bank. And I think it was just a very short period of time. I realized I don't want to spend my life being cooped up 9 to 5. Actually, it's more than 9 to 5. You start very early before the branch operation starts and all the way, probably sometimes 8, 9 o'clock. So at that time when I was like rather young, I would say, I decided, hey, it's time to see the world. And that's where I just hop on it and went off for to fly with MAS for about 6.5, 7 years before one day, when we flew so many destinations, sometimes when you go into winter countries, it can get a bit quiet. And that's when I would think it's just like MCO period now. I sit and reflect and think, I don't want to sit here and waiting in the hotel room for the next flight. I think I should do more than this. So, well, I always have a penchant to start my own business, actually more towards the child education, which actually I ventured just before I joined real estate. I quit the airline to start this child development center. Actually, it's more like a gym thing, But being young, I didn't really look into the deeper depth of what running and operations of business is like. So then I realized the royalty was too high, and then I was thinking, at the end of the day, my profit would be probably less than what my airline money would be. So I think, no, this is not going to work.
Yeah, true.
Well, I was looking in it. Of course, like I say, I always encourage people, when you step up, never look back. So I was always looking back. I say, why don't I just go back to the airline? It's a safe ground. I get my money on the 25th of every month. And eventually, somehow, I came across a real estate agent who was managing my brother's rental. And I thought, hey, why not? I hop on and see what real estate is like. So I would call myself a accidental real estate agent, right? Without knowing what am I getting into. And that was in 1997, just before the huge crisis was ahead of me. And a newbie here knows nothing, knows no danger, went into it. And that time, of course, we can work at that point, not much training because the agency is rather small, but it's either a sink or swim kind of situation. But thankfully, I would say that I will always say this, that in every crisis, there was opportunity. And this rhymes from day one, or rather the third month after I joined real estate agent as agency. The crisis came about, interest rate went up, and that's when I remember USJ 20 in Subang Jaya was first released. They got their keys during that time. So as far as from my observation, that's when I see a lot of houses were slightly below what developers' price is. So there was huge transaction, and I say, wow, I can sell 7 houses in a week. Where can I get better income than this, you know? So I said, okay, forget about the airline. It's time to go into real estate. So from then on, I have been deeply passionate about this field, and I still am looking forward. And now with this agency, I also look forward to grow more leaders out of this place.
Wow. Well, I mean, sidetrack a bit, because now MCO, I think there's a lot of airline people is retrenching now. So those who are watching this, maybe you are from airline, you can maybe consider come into real estate line.
Yeah,
so if you want, you have a lot of friends coming. Yeah, you can contact Carolyn if you interested to join this real estate industry, right? Okay. So we will share your contact number later if you don't mind. Right.
Yeah.
So yes, coming back to our topic here, Subang Jaya. Yes, it's a very huge topic and has a very good record and a lot of history about this area. So well, before we start, I just want to say this this session here is more to sharing. Giving opinions by our agent, because as a real estate agent, we hear the most from the buyer, and the seller. So yes, of course, Carolyn has been in USJ in Subang Jaya for such a long time. So she will be the best person to get consultation and get best advice. Right. So without further ado, I will pass the time to Carolyn. So yes, I'll put Carolyn's screen on. Yes, right. So yes, you can play, and I'll pass the time to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Derek. Okay, so it's titled Insight into Subang Jaya. I couldn't find a better picture than this one, courtesy of Jeffrey Tan in SJ Echo. To stay home and to stay safe, all of us have to do that to ensure that we all stay safe during this pandemic season. Okay. So, well, let me start with a brief intro into Subang Jaya. I believe a lot of you here probably live in Subang Jaya, or my good friends out there. Thank you for joining me here today. So Subang Jaya actually was first launched by CBD Properties. I think everyone knows them now. It's CBD, I believe, in 1976. The site was, this whole place was actually a rubber plantation called Seafield Estate. So it has grown since from 1976. It has since become a flourishing self-contained township and an urban sanctuary to about 700,000 residents here in Subang Jaya. That's pretty huge. I didn't know we have so many people until I did this research extracted from a CBD website. Okay. So for an overview of Subang Jaya actually consists on, the address where you had whatever 47620, your postcode, and then it's Subang Jaya. It covers the main Subang Jaya, which actually spans across SS12 to SS19, including Taman Wangsa Baiduri, which is a leasehold property not developed by CBD Properties. And then following the success of the main Subang Jaya, which is the SS12 to SS19 area, the development of USJ began in 1988. Okay, so how many of you live in Subang and how many in USJ? I think you will know the history the same, yeah? And in 1999, from the deep expansion and migrating people into Subang Jaya, at that point, I think there were a lot of interest in Subang Jaya properties. I'll tell you why later. In 1999, CBD began development of Putra Heights. Putra Heights is actually located on the southern end of Subang Jaya. And also now on the west side of Subang Jaya, towards where Central Sugar is, down to Pinggiran USJ, you will find developments such as Subang High Tech Industrial Park, the Mutiara Subang, Taman Subang Mas, and of course the upscale Subang Heights, USJ Heights, and Tropicana Metro Park. And I think some of it also called now Metro Park. So Metro Park is a different developer, but they are all under Subang Jaya address. Okay. Generally, all homes in built by CBD Properties in Subang Jaya are freehold properties. In fact, I think all of it is built by CBD Properties. Okay, there are some developers, particularly those in USJ 1, some pocket parks in USJ 17, Wangsa Baiduri, for example. These are not a freehold property, but they are equally, I mean, they are also catching on in their prices. The trends is the same as how the appreciation in Subang Jaya properties is like. Okay, so for those who are new to Subang Jaya and who would like to know Subang Jaya better, can you allow me to share? I know many of you are here and you know Subang Jaya inside out. I call Subang Jaya my playground because I've lived here about 30. I came in to Subang Jaya in 1990. That's when I was about to start my airline career. So it has been that long, okay? So I know Subang Jaya inside out, every nooks and corners of it, actually. And why is it, what are the factors that contribute to it being a desirable location for investment? Okay, of course, first, if we look into it, we will always say, right, first, Subang Jaya is not exactly very far from Kuala Lumpur city center, especially now during MCO, you can drive to town in less than 20 minutes, toll free. Okay, don't try it. No, I'm not driving crazy, but this is generally the distance, right? If you take a normal slow drive, 20-25 minutes down to Kuala Lumpur city center, which is about 16 kilometers away. Today's guide will be more on residential properties in Subang Jaya, and I would like to just make reference to the main Subang Jaya, not because USJ and Putra is not important, but because of time constraint. A lot of examples and everything will lean towards the main Subang Jaya area, including the distance from KL City Center. Okay? Okay, next. Why do we want to be in Subang Jaya? Okay, basically, wait, before that, the population chart. This is the population chart. I'm not sure whether it's come up. Can you see my population chart yet? Derek?
Yes, we can see.
Okay. So this is the ethnic group population chart in Subang Jaya. Basically, I think it's pretty even. You have all races, so it's a lovely multiracial location to live. You can find friends of all races, which is nice. A lovely Muhiba place to live. Okay, so this is Subang population. So why Subang Jaya? Of course, it's the abundance of matured amenities and facilities. First is shopping centers. Who love shopping here? Maybe not so much now. Everyone goes to online shopping. But is it back in the 70s or rather early 80s? I think the first time when I come from a town, a rather small town, Teluk Intan in Perak. And when I first came to KL, I was driving along Federal Highway with my uncle taking us around. And he told us, look, this is Subang Parade. It's the longest mall, I think probably in Malaysia, if I'm not wrong. He said that. And we are like, wow, you know, what's so swaku. Never seen a mall this huge and cannot comprehend what could be running inside there. So, but Subang Jaya is actually anchored by Parade. A lot of people still remember Subang Parade. If a lot of people, when you talk about Subang Jaya, they say, you live near Subang Parade. You know, it's that kind of memory from a lot of people. So now Subang Parade still remains an iconic location, but of course now we have bigger and bigger malls coming in our neighborhood as well. But it remains a famous F&B place. If, let's say, the F&B choices are insufficient, you can always hop next door and go to Empire Gallery, which is also a very very much a F&B location, and I would call it more like a trendier place. Like maybe the youngsters, like people like my daughters and all, would prefer Empire to Subang Parade, because Subang Parade, okay, different. Better not say anything about Subang Parade here. Okay, less than 10 minutes away, you will find another big mall, but actually this is actually in Sunway. There's a Sunway Pyramid. I guess this is another location no one will ever miss. It's already a landmark to many visitors to Malaysia. Other than all these bigger malls, we all have, our community is actually supported by the neighborhood malls, such as like Courtyard SS15, lovely F&B in there, Tapman, Main Place. Of course, then you have USJ 19 Mall, which is now slightly not so popular at the moment. And then the hypermarkets, Giant, USJ, Mydin, and Eon Hypermarket. So generally, this complete your search for all your shopping needs, your grocery shoppings and whatnot that you want to buy. Okay, so this is why we don't have to venture out so much. If you go to One Utama, you go to Mid Valley, actually the retailers are pretty much the same as what we find here in Subang Jaya and Sunway. Okay, so this is one of our attraction. Of course, in every development, the commercial district is definitely the main supporting factor. We have commercial districts here, typically anchored in the SS16, which is near Subang Parade. You have this Consplan and Empire Gallery, the offices. Where else do we have them? Okay, we have, other than that, in the USJ area, you have the Taipan Business Center, USJ 9 Business Center, where we are based, our agency is based, or USJ 21. And further down south, you will find Putra Point in Putra Heights. So these are our commercial district. Oh, I missed out some towards USJ 1, which is Regalia, and USJ 1 Central. These are all the commercial areas that you'll find offices, trendy offices, if you need to relocate here. Actually, for the past few days, the demand for viewing on commercial offices, or rather like offices around Subang, has increased. Typically, I found 2 tenants who came from KL and Mid Valley area. They actually came in and said, it's time to come back here. Is lesser jam, and also now operations, we don't need so many people, and also rental here is a lot cheaper. So the certain companies are relocating. Somehow they're coming back to where they live, which is in Subang Jaya. Okay, so this is more towards the commercial district. As for schools and Institute of Higher Learning, I think that's equally important, because our kids need to go to school and we don't want to wake them up early in the morning and then drive them, put them on a school bus 20-30 minutes to go to school. I think that won't work for my daughter. If she's listening, she'll kill me, because she'll wake up 15 minutes before school. Okay, so the schools, okay, in the schools in Subang, generally there are quite a number of high performance public schools in Subang. I'm sure all of you will also know Likhang is one of the best school. It's a Chinese school. There are only 2 Chinese schools in Subang. Oh, sorry, 3. Okay, that is Likhang in SS19, Chewen in USJ 1, and of course in Wawasan School in USJ, I think that's what, USJ 14, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, it's USJ 14. So Sekolah Wawasan. And this area, especially in SS19, a lot of people tend to move in towards this area simply because they want to school their kids in Likhang. Okay, so how many of you actually send your kids there, and why do you do that? So maybe you can comment it in the chat box. Help the others know why Likhang and the Chinese schools around here are popular, right? Okay. Other than that, of course, the normal kebangsaan schools, they are also very good schools in SS14, SS18, USJ2, USJ4, and USJ12 area. And there are also other schools in USJ8, USJ 13. Actually, most of the schools are very close to where the residents live. You can actually go to school in less than 10 minutes, unless they've moved far away. Okay, so this is basically more towards the public schools. And for those who prefers a different curriculum other than the government school curriculum, such as the IGCSE, I think now is an in thing. A lot of people tend to do homeschooling, going into the IGCSE syllabus. You can find a lot of private and international schools in Subang. Actually, I think for a location such as Subang in this area, there's just too many schools, I think, but yet they are there's enrollment in it. There's pretty full enrollment to it. Okay, so of course the famous one is 3KL. Now you have a new one, GEMS International School, which is very close towards the Tropicana Metro Park area, which you can actually access it directly from Federal Highway now with the newly built flyover, which has tremendously, actually this flyover has tremendously elevated a lot of traffic during the rush hour, because now those days, Federal Highway, you actually need to pay toll. Now it's toll free. Everybody just come home, drive up the ramp, and then come into Tropicana Metro Park or the USJ Heights area, USJ 3 ABC area. It's a lot easier to access that way than coming through where we call it the Old Kentucky Way or the SGMC area way. So that helps the traffic a lot that way. Okay.
Yeah, Carolyn. Yeah, I just curious here. Maybe some of you, if you are staying in Subang area, maybe you can help us to comment down Subang, so we know. We want to know how many actually staying in Subang. As Carolyn is sharing, I think a lot of you start to have the memory, start to have the pictures come out while we have stayed there before. So yes, Michael has actually commented, Lake Hang, it's hard to get into Lake Hang if you are not staying near any SS19, right?
Yeah, it's a very competitive school. A lot of people want to get in there. I think Dato's kids were there, schooled there. No, Dato's kids was not schooled there. Yeah, it is a very competitive school, actually.
Yeah.
The grades are extremely high.
There's a lot of good school there. That's why a lot of parents wanted to move into Subang at some point. Yeah, because of this school, and also we know that Sunway College and Taylor's College is just around the corner. So that's why Subang become a very favorable and demanding area.
Yeah, actually, yeah. Because other than GEMS and 3KL, now you have the UCSI for all this. UCSI, Fairview International, you have Kingsley International in Putra Heights, and even a Muslim school, international school, Al Tabimi, which is in I think the TP area. Okay, so other than just schools or international schools, of course, Subang is also known as an education hub. More tertiary education. If your kids here, now they can actually go to uni very easy, unlike our days where either we go to public universities here or we go overseas if we can afford it. These days, there's so much choices, and there's so many colleges and universities a lot around here. Particularly one main one was Taylor's College, but they have since moved to Sunway Lakeside area, which is not too far. It's just maybe another 10 minutes extra distance if you are coming in, if you live in Subang Jaya. And the other one next to it will be INTI International. INTI International University and College Subang. And Sunway University is another one. Monash University, there's a lot of twinning courses, and you can actually do like 2+1, 3+1. I'm not so sure, probably. But I know they can do this kind of arrangement. So that saves parents a lot, rather than having to send them immediately overseas. Of course, unless if you can afford it, the exposure is definitely beneficial for the students. Otherwise, we have equally good universities here who can support the community that way. So with that, again, they have new ones here like Asia E-University. I think it's more like a digital university, which is something very relevant today. They have taken over the place where in SS15 area where Taylor's College used to be. Okay, you can basically those are the universities around. Of course, there are others, including Peggy College, and I think there are some nursing colleges. Well, if you remember or you know of any, you can always help us add to this list that I have here. Not limited to what I've just mentioned. Okay. So, of course, next, other than commercial district shopping, everybody loves shopping, and then higher institute of learning, healthcare is another very important factor for wherever we live. We want to make sure it's actually a peace of mind that you have good healthcare system or location to support our wellness, health and wellness. Okay, so here you have two big ones. It's Ramsay Sam Darby, or for us who lived in Subang for many, many years, we will say call it SJMC. Until now, it's still SJMC. Okay,
Yeah.
just SJMC. Okay, it's easier to remember all this, right?
Correct.
Well, that other than that, of course, you have the Sunway Medical Center, which actually has expanded. I see all both these medical centers as new wing now. They have expanded bigger and bigger. I'm not sure if there's good news or bad news there, but it's good to have good healthcare hospitals and all this around us. Yeah. Other than that, of course, park and recreational, something a lot of you must have missed during MCO, cannot even go jogging, cannot do everything. A lot of places actually in Subang supports this park and recreational facilities. Example, I think the famous one will be the Subang Ria, which is near the lake where SS12 near SJMC is. A lot of people go there jogging because there it features a very big lake. So it's nice and tranquil to just sit there and relax and get the stress out of you. And of course, they have a well-paved jogging and cycling track. So it is a good place for family to go get some exercise out there. And of course, then you have, other than this Subang Ria Park, there's another new one. We call it the Urban Forest, which is actually in USJ 3A. I'm not sure how many of you are aware there's a new urban forest in USJ. Somewhere green, finally. Nice to look at something green other than just concrete jungle every day around us. Or traffic jam around us. So maybe these greens around us can give us better eyesight, sustain our eyesight at least, right? So this is in USJ 3A. At the moment, unfortunately, it's not open to public, so don't go there yet. Don't want to quote me to say go try it out now, okay? Other than that, you have the 3K Sports Complex. 3K Sports Complex has recently been refurbished. I think they have a pool there. They have squash court. I used to go there for yoga classes. And of course, after that, behind it, you get night markets on a Tuesday, on a Sunday, pasar malam kind of thing. But the strange thing is they call it pasar malam, but they close at 6 o'clock, okay? Before the night falls. So this is something cute about Subang Jaya. Right. Other than that, other than 3K, you can also find places for paintball activities, actually TT Sports Park, which is actually very close to the Subang Ria Park in SS12. And for those who want some adrenaline rush, try the Speedway Go-Kart circuit. I'm not sure how many has gone in there. I know we have some racers in here.
Yes.
How many of you love doing that? Very stressed. You just go there and drive like crazy. And okay, that's a safe place to drive like crazy, not on the road. Yeah. Okay. So basically, of course, I think there are another place near the USJ one. They call it Energy something. Last time it was more like you have trampolines and everything. Mama stall there, but yes, since I believe it has since changed to be a pool, a public pool or something. And there are more actually in the industrial areas where you can find futsal and badminton courts, and also another swimming complex somewhere up in the
actually, there's a lot of badminton court inside here in Subang area also.
Yeah,
I used to go there, Super Court, and a lot of other famous court in Subang area.
Yeah, That's good, right? So at least because badminton is not where you can always go outside when the wind blows. The shuttlecock may have flown, God knows where. So these are the areas. The only thing we miss is a tennis court. I wonder, other than clubs, now, of course, you have the Holiday Villa Club, and if you are members, there, you are a member there. Otherwise, will be those who live in a condominium. Then you get to enjoy all these facilities. Landed properties, sorry, unless you are a club member. Okay, so any questions so far? I think this is Subang Jaya. Why I love Subang Jaya, right? Okay, we have visitors, and of course we also do our annual dinners and everything, which is very close. We have hotels, actually a lot of 4-star hotels here. That includes Dorset in SS12 near HMC, and the Holiday Villa. What else we have? The near, okay, this is in Sunway. Don't count as Subang Jaya, but they're close lah. So can I just tumpang glamour of that place? Okay, like the Sunway Resort, the Clio Sunway, and the Pyramid Towers. These are equally good malls. Equally good hotels with malls adjoining. So it's very convenient for visitors who come visit, especially here. Okay. All right, these are the hotels. Other than that, of course, you have Summit USJ, the E-City in one city towards the southern part. And those have actually conference and meeting rooms, so you can use them anytime you want. You can always go and book them and use them, right?
Yeah.
So, okay. This is about the amenities and facilities that we have in Subang. So far, no questions. Can I continue?
It's already a lot. List out a lot in this area.
It's a lot. Yeah. This is what makes Subang Jaya attractive. Okay.
Correct. It complements each other, and then that's why the whole Subang Jaya is so vibrant and is so demanding. I would say.
It adds to the vibrancy. If you don't have all this, nobody will come in, and then I think property will not sell either, unless there are new areas that takes time to mature. So if you cannot wait, just come into Subang Jaya. It's here. Everything is here for you.
Yeah,
okay?
I'm sure a lot of audiences, some of you might have thought of like buying a property in Subang Jaya, but the prices is so expensive. But of course, let's Carolyn update us. What's the current market right now? The current market, the prices in Subang Jaya.
Okay, we will go into that, but basically the next qualifying factor why you should invest in Subang Jaya, let me flip to the next chart, is the accessibility and connectivity. Do you agree?
Yeah, true.
Because I'm sure someone has asked you before where to invest, and the first thing that comes to mind is always location. How many can agree with me on that?
Yeah, if you agree with her, you can comment down there, location.
Yeah, so you have this in Subang. Subang is very centralized in the sense if you come from Klang region towards KL, we are still in the middle of it. And going to PJ and all, we are fairly close. Puchong, Shah Alam to KL, we are actually pretty centralized here. Okay, so other than location, which Subang Jaya definitely qualifies in it, we will definitely have to look into the accessibility. I like to add accessibility and connectivity as one of your primary consideration. I would say a key consideration if I were to buy a property. I not only want to ensure that the location is, well, okay, prime or not prime, it depends how much money you have in your pocket, okay? But of course, some areas are not so prime yet. They have good connectivity, and this particular point can enhance the place. More people will come in very soon. So in Subang, the accessibility and connectivity. For accessibility, we are very close, regardless of where you live in Subang, USJ or Putra Heights, or even Metro Park area. You have the highways that is so close to you, right? We have about 6 highways actually: Federal Highway, Kesas, Damansara, Puchong, the Elite, the NKVE, and okay, LKSA here looks a bit far off. Like it's actually more towards Kota Kemuning kind of connectivity. I couldn't have another map that shows that many in a picture. So thank you to H Property for I have to borrow this picture. Okay, so these are the highways, and of course those days when prior to the completion of the LDP and Kesas Highway, there's only one exit out of Subang Jaya. I think for those who lived in Subang enough, I think you experience this frustration every morning, queuing up along Jalan Tujuan, heading to Kesas, heading to Federal Highway prior to the completion of the exits, more entry and exits from the major highways, right? So those days when I tell friends I live in Subang Jaya, 100% they will tell you, ayo, jam dayu, no place to live, man. You get what I mean? I don't know how many Subang Jaya folks agrees with me. How many of you, maybe you can tell me what's the emotions that run through you in the morning, especially when you're queuing up and you say, wow, you see the clock moving, but then your car is not moving. Okay, from a scale of 1 to 9, 9 being deeply stressed out, where are you? Thank God I'm in real estate. I don't have to go through all this. Also, these are the perks of being in real estate. So we go when we can.
Yeah, especially last time I remember when I come out from going to school, especially, and in the morning the jam is so jam, so bad.
A big thing, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So
yeah.
But of course, now with the completion of the LDP, which actually many years already, and Kesas Highway is actually a real blessing because you can go down to Cheras, you go down to KL, and of course the connectivity. Something I miss that Subang folks can use is NPE. You can go down to Bangsa, very easy, to KL Central, just one highway all the way straight. So these are all the major connectivities that has brought so much vibrancy to Subang Jaya. And of course, the main thing, they have taken away a lot of stress of having to, of commuting, in a sense. Other than that, I think the Subang Municipal Council, actually now Subang has been awarded a city status now. If you see, our MPSJ is now known as MBSJ now, since last year. So they actually did a pretty good, a better traffic management, I will call, along Jalan Kewajipan. Those days, if you come in before summit, jam dayu. Okay, nowadays, I think it's a lot easier because they no longer allow cars from HMC area to go down to Kesas Highway. They have, heading towards Shah Alam area, they have first to go make a U-turn towards the Cheras area and come back. Okay, so that has elevated a lot of stress out of commuters, particularly during the rush hour. But well, people say it's still bad traffic, what? So I would like to say, if you don't see traffic, if you get traffics like what we see today, then soon our property prices here will not rise anymore. I think people have moved somewhere else. Those days, a lot of people, the Subang Jaya folks, moved out of Subang Jaya to probably Kota Kemuning and all because they think Subang Jaya has got too crowded. And of course, newer homes in newly developed areas, there are lots of it around us. But for Subang Jaya, more towards secondary market, really, there are not many new developments, not many new landed developments here. Or actually none at all, except for Putra Heights. Okay. All right. Coming to that, this is about the connectivity. If you look at this chart that I derived from Property Guru, the top 3 popular district by search, Subang Jaya is actually ranked number 3 after Petaling Jaya and Shah Alam. So that shows that there are a lot of interest from property buyers for Subang Jaya market as well, and where they search property condominiums, apartment, and 2-story terraces. So for the property search, I would think property type search depends on what's your age. The youngster will probably be more condominiums. I think there are a lot of newbies, the millennials coming up, earning good money, and also become more aware to start early in property investment, which is a really good choice, actually. Okay. So any questions so far? All good?
Yeah, so far, no question. They are all good. Right, okay, so we come to the prices.
Yeah, sorry. So okay, let's go to the home supply in Subang. Okay, like I said, I'm not quoting so much of USJ and Putra Heights, not because I don't know much about it, nor don't have data. We do have the data. So if you are the residents of USJ and Putra Heights and you need indicative valuation and things like that, we do have a affiliate agency, which is a valuation company, and also the data that we subscribe to on Bricks and also H Property, we are able to help give you an indicative value. Okay, but of course, at the end, you still go to a valuer if you want an exact amount, exact value for loan purposes and all. Okay, which will also help. All right. So, okay, Subang Jaya, USJ, and Putra Heights. These three areas actually are primarily made up of terrace houses, and lately more stratified high-rise development have emerged since year 2000, probably because of land scarcity, I must say, around the SS12, SS13, SS15, SS16, more like Subang Parade area, partly because you also now have, other than the KTM commuter, you have now the LRT extension line, right? Have I forgotten to share the LRT line? Okay. Sorry, I backtrack. Going back to accessibility, other than just the major highways, it is also another factor that helped reduce the traffic congestion is the completion of the Kelana Jaya LRT extension line in 2016, all the way to Putra Heights. And if you go to Putra Heights and you want to go the other direction, go towards Bukit Jalil, I think Derek, right, can go towards there. Chera, Chan Sauli, you do a 360 and come back to Subang.
Yeah, it's actually a loop, actually, all around KL and PJ area.
Yes, a huge big loop, and you can actually do that. Yeah, this dual LRT line, extension line, has contributed significantly in enhancing the infrastructure development and transport system in Subang Jaya, which I believe definitely has in turn propelled the growth factor and property prices, particularly in the Putra Heights area. So the last Putra Heights tend to be a bit quiet, because there is a no passing through. I mean, not many people pass through Subang Jaya. I mean, Putra Heights just like Subang Jaya. Because now Subang Jaya toll-free, last time with Federal Highway, we told people tend to come in to Subang, then go the other way. Whereas Putra Heights is a quiet enclave, very nice, exclusive area to live as well. So that has, the train extension has helped Putra Heights, well, more Putra Heights and also significantly for Subang and USJ market property prices along the MRT line. Okay, and on top of that, it is a good initiative that Sunway actually also have a joint venture with Prasanna, I think. How do you spell that? Okay, I never get this tongue twister thing. Okay, the BRT train that connects USJ 7 station to Sunway. Actually, you can go from USJ 7, which is near Tatman Mall. You hop on the train. Short distance, you'll be right in front of Monash University or Sunway Medical Center or Sunway Pyramid, and you can go all the way until Sri Satya KTM. Then you can either change to commuter or other public mode of transport to get to work. Okay, so this is also a very beneficial infrastructure to USJ and Subang residents. Particularly, I would think more like Subang and Putra Heights residents. So this brought along actually a lot of student community from Sunway, because rental in Subang, technically, rather than they rent hostels in campuses, the houses here in Subang rental are much cheaper. Okay, we'll go into that later. Okay?
Yes, Carolyn, because our time is a bit running off already.
Okay, too much to talk. Okay,
yes.
So a quick one. Okay, Subang Jaya Homes. Okay,
but it's a good sharing. A lot of comment here is a good sharing, and it's very detailed here. Yeah, but we want to they can't wait to know the price now. Okay, they come to money and send.
So I gave the other one earlier. What neighborhood? We don't care. You go find out yourself. But if you need more info, I'm happy to help you. I'll check Bricks and tell you. Okay, so. Let's take this example. Of course, there are many neighborhoods here. I will take SS18 for example. Average two-story landed property in Subang Jaya. This is not including USJ. Somehow USJ a little bit lower than main Subang Jaya because this area has a lot of student and also the connectivity earlier. Okay, so example, in 2011, I think you're seeing this slide, right? In 2011, the average price per square feet for a landed property in Subang Jaya is about $420 per square feet, about 530,000. So you see a steady increase from 2013 to 2015, 2017, and 2019. Even despite last few years, I think property market were rather flat, but still we see an increase in landed property prices. Okay. Yeah. Whereas the next slide is high-rise property. Somehow high-rise property maintaining status quo, they are about there, the line. Okay, but I wish to disqualify those new ones, whatever developer sells, if you like it, you have to buy. But this is more for condos that are more than 5 years old. And this covers the condos in Subang and USJ as well. Okay. So it's about 400 over per square feet. Again, need valuation, please, indication, please let us know. Right? Okay. Why the pros of landed property and high rise? Right. Generally, I must say that for investors actually targeting higher returns, okay, particularly those who are targeting the student accommodation. Let me know, I just share where you can find. You may look into terrace houses in the main Subang Jaya area, which is SS12, 14, 15, 17, or even USJ2 and USJ6 area, okay? And a lot of people now will have are pretty much security conscious. So those would have moved into gated and guarded area. There are more, actually we have quite a number of gated and guarded areas in USJ and also Putra Heights now, namely the USJ Heights area, Subang Heights, the Glenview in USJ1, and more of it actually in Putra Heights actually would be Glades, Kingsley Hills, Putra Avenue, Laman Putra, Putra Palm. So if you're looking for gated and guarded community, you can check out these places here. Okay. In general, rental yields, okay, let's come to this slide now. In general, rental yields are higher for high-end, high-rise development compared to landed properties. Okay. However, landed properties in Subang Jaya performs better in giving investors higher capital appreciation. Okay. The average rental yield of landed houses in Subang, basically, I would think maybe 2.5 to 3%. I just put 2 to be conservative here, okay? 2% to 3%. While the average rental yield for non-landed properties, high-rise condos and all apartments is between 4.5 to 5. Okay, this is based on the 2019 thing. This year, things will may significantly change. So, just follow whatever the tide carries us lah. There are quite actually a lot of new launches in Subang. For rental market rather. Okay, for rental market, where do you want to find? Where do you invest in, and what kind of returns can you expect? Generally, are you seeing this price range? Okay.
Yeah, price range demand.
The price range, there are a lot of demand for rental of properties like 750 ringgit. I think now almost don't exist anymore, unless it's like 2-room flats and all that, right? To 1,002. You see the highest demand were actually between the 1,002 to 2,000 ringgit and 2,000 to 3,000 if furnished or newly built areas in Putra Heights area. And we also have the 6K, 3K and above, those will be more like USJ Heights area, those gated and guarded community. All right. To investors in this category, actually, sorry. Okay, this is rental. Let me get to it. I think this one we can skip lah. Neighborhood thing, or we can skip. Okay, sorry, I forgot to change the 2. It became, I don't know why it stays 2, but actually, I would like to say that there are few fundamental support for property price growth in Subang Jaya, particularly the landed properties. Because of land scarcity, there are more condominiums coming up. It's very unlikely that you'll find many new launches of landed properties already. Okay, and with a growing population, obviously the demand will increase, and if demands will increase, they build more houses, prices will continue to rise. Other than that, I think many of us are from outstation, so there's a lot of interstate migration and also the student market. So these are the factors I believe, and I'm confident that Subang Jaya properties will continue to move upwards due to, other than the amenities and facilities, partly because of all this. And of course, the age of population. I think here we have quite a lot of youngsters, right? And a lot of youngsters tend to move in here because their parents, they're deeply rooted here, or rather continue to buy properties here because they're deeply rooted or they have parents around here. So it's safer to be where your parents is, free food, free lodging, maybe free childcare and all those things, right? So this is basically Subang, right? Let me see the next. Okay. Just to go through the Subang new launches, oh wait, I have pictures of Desa Park City. Sorry. Okay, there are actually a few more other than this, but due to time limitation, let me just show you right now. Of course, the most famous one now would be Aurora and Lot 15 at Subang Jaya City Center. We call it Subang Jaya City Center. Actually, it's closer to the Subang Parade and Empire Subang area.
Yeah.
So these are the prices. They build houses, maybe 2-3 bedrooms the most, or 2+1. And the latest I know of is Alira at Metro Park Subang Jaya, which is close to Tropicana Metro Park. This is developed by MCT. Unfortunately, I haven't got the price. They have their new, very nicely fit out show gallery in USJ Taipan area. Okay, so check this out. You can Google. I'm sure nowadays everything is on Google. Ask Mr. Google.
Yeah, you can also call Carolyn if you want to know more.
Yes, otherwise call me because Derek says move fast. Okay. All this, like Aurora and Lot 15, I will call it. These days, there's a lot of keyword that says the TOD, which is a transit-oriented development. So the Aurora and Lot 15 would be very much in this category, where a lot of people tend to is more like you can hop on the train and go to work, and also a lot more new professionals will come into this area. So there is a strong upswing in demand for properties strategically located and directly connected to the MRT and LRT line. So if you're looking for investment here, you can consider these two developments. And yeah, I think that's basically what it is. Okay, I guess this is about what I have. I thought it was brief, but sorry it took so long. I have too much. Okay.
Yeah. Like I say, USJ has too many things to talk about. Actually, even you haven't touched about food. Okay, food.
Yeah, I know
USJ area. USJ area is so many food that I cannot even finish talking about that even. Yeah. So right, if you are looking for food in USJ area, okay, you can also ask me. Okay, so I can recommend some to you. Yeah. Okay.
I forgot to add one thing, which is very, very important. Okay, the value of landed homes generally appreciates between 7 to 8% in the last 2 decades. Okay, and for non-landed, I think you've seen the chart just now, about 5%. But I would say condos and all, for the time being, things are pretty straight line.
Yes.
It depends whether you decide to buy whatever purpose it is. So if you ask me, where do you invest? Is it landed or non-landed? You have to ask yourself now, what is your priority? Do you want higher return or you want higher capital appreciation?
Yes.
Because these days, no one can expect what is to come, especially in this uncertain time. So I don't want to commit too much about it. I would be happy to provide info along the way as I have it. Okay.
Yeah. If you have any question now, you want to ask Carolyn about Subang area, you can comment below. Okay. But before we go to the question from the floor, I have about 2 questions. Okay, to ask Carolyn. Number one is what is a supply demand trend you think you foresee after the MCO? Yeah, okay. I believe just now you touched a little bit. Yeah,
I think partly like that already, because you see, Subang Jaya, like I said, there are more landed properties but they're not new. Okay, so if you're thinking about supply, what's the supply factor like? It would be more like the high rise where developers are building. Okay, I think most of the condos here that are ready are pretty well occupied already, most of them, right? So the new supply would definitely come from developers. Of course, maybe Metro Park area, there are a lot of new development site coming up, including Alira, which I say. Other than that, I think supply will be more towards the secondary market, the landed properties. And I would think that it's the best time. Like I say, I've seen 2 cycles. This is probably a 3rd cycle of up and down. Where during this time, a lot of people who live here would want to quickly get in touch with an agent and tell us what's your requirement. Because I'm not saying that the property prices here will drop drastically, but during this time, I'm sure of a period of uncertainty, job market and everything, I'm sure there will be some properties, which actually I do have a few in hand now, that is selling slightly below market. So it's a good time, especially like if people say, oh, you're so old. But you see, if you're buying it below market now and you can still leverage on the loan, you can always buy and refurbish and make it into a dream homes, right? You say, oh, maybe this one room a bit small now, knock it off and build whatever. You can increase another level. You see, in USJ 11, for example, most of the corner units are actually redeveloped. Some even bring down the whole thing and build their own bungalow there. Literally bungalows already, you know.
That's why that come to my next question. All right, so because now we see the trend, especially in social media, there's a lot of people sharing they buy old property, very old one at the lower price, and they then renovate it to a very nice done, like they have different design, they have zen, they have garden style and all this. So now this is the trend of maybe some of the buyer here, or maybe some of the viewer here, actually they are interested in this. So can you give us some figures, like, okay, let's say now in this market in Subang area, what is the lowest price they can come in? Okay, and then they do the renovation, and then after the renovation, what is the highest price they can sell? Do you know? Can you share a bit?
Yeah, sure. I'm sure a lot of property gurus out there. I think the property investment group will tell you go and buy old ones and refurbish. I think which is a really good idea, because you see, if you buy houses in Subang and USJ, technically would be around 20 to 30 years, if not more already. So even if you buy something called renovated, is it to your taste? So you might as well, of course, if you like it, good. Yeah, do minimum. It depends again what's your budget and how much you can afford to spend in the renovation. But you see, I have a lot of properties, actually a few properties in SS15 that you can get it about like 780 to 800K only.
Wow.
Where in the typical time it has gone up to 950, even to 9 at one point. So you can see the price difference now, right? So if valuers still allow you to take whatever your price is, you can take a higher loan and then do it up. I think it's
I think because I thought in SS15 area easily at least starting point is about 1 million and above.
Yeah, the renovated ones would be at least, but now I think maybe 950, 980 you can still get it.
The basic one, like, still can get it from 700 plus.
Yeah, right? I have units. You see, the structures of those in main Subang Jaya are very solid ones.
Yes.
You know, I've seen a house, I think 35 years old, the parquet is still fully intact. I can never comprehend how it can even happen. In USA, I know most of you, if you're here, you will think, why are all the parquet pop up one? It's a total different quality. So that there are certain things, unless you want a bigger place, you don't have to knock off everything one.
True.
If I have more time, I'll share a lot of pictures what I mean, that qualities, structural qualities there. But again,
I'm sure some of them, they really want to see the structure of the house. Even I myself has been saying that the houses that I used to say has been already 20 over years, but the structure is still good, and the crack, not many crack at the house as well. So it's very good. So that means now buying a property in Subang Jaya is still a good time. Okay, still a good time. There is still a lot of demand, and also
I
a lot
always
of
think
people are
buying
still
property is a good time.
yeah
Because I'm an agent, okay?
yeah.
Again, you can evaluate, especially at this time. If you don't think, especially market has been flat for a couple of years,
That's right.
due to
The
whatever.
interest rate also, right? The interest rate,
And of course now
bank
the
has already
BR has
revised.
over the past 2 months rate actually lowered the OPR rates, which actually help a lot more now that you can take higher loan and pay the same. So that gives affordability and also encourage more people to buy now.
Yes, yes. So now in this season is a good time to buy, I would say, especially now for Subang area. If you want to invest in Subang area, is also that you won't go wrong. Okay, you won't go wrong because there's so many amenities
Everything
and
here.
school and yeah. So buying a property in Subang Jaya, yes, I would say you still can buy, provided you get a good price. Yeah, right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So any question from the floor so far? Yeah.
Any more
All right.
questions? Otherwise, you can always contact me.
Yes.
I think Derek will show you my number.
Yes.
Otherwise,
Yes.
on my slide itself, I'm not sure whether it's still showing. You see my number and my nickname and my phone number and my email to get in touch. Otherwise,
Yeah.
we'll later check back on this same stream and we'll put a Google form. It's easier for you if you like to reach out to
Yeah.
me. Whatever questions you have or concern or you think that something I say is not right, feedbacks are always welcome. So thank you.
Yeah, even Catherine Chai, she said she have a client looking for a landed in USJ, so she will contact you very soon. Yeah. So yes, I hope this session will slightly stir up your interest in buying a property in Subang area. So even I myself, I stayed there before, so I know the market is definitely there. So even with 700,000+, you can actually own a landed property in Subang. Okay, rather now
It's quite cheap now for Klang Valley.
Correct,
right?
correct. You buy a new one also about that price, so why not looking at the landed one in Subang?
For the location, basically, if you can buy this 700 over 1,000 elsewhere as well. I'm not saying you can't. You can go Sarjana Putra. You can go deeper in Kota Kemuning, but then it's a distance, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Correct.
So if
I
we
would still prefer Subang actually. Yeah.
Yeah. Other than that, you have the bubble tea lane. Even though I love it much, so that's why I live in Subang, I guess.
Yeah. All right. Wow. So we get a lot of good comment here about your sharing in this area. Thank you, Carolyn, once again for your time with us. Yeah, for this sharing. So if any buyer or seller want to get inquire about their property in Subang, feel free to call Carolyn. Yeah. So yes, our session has come to an end. So for those that you have missed the session, okay, this is the time you can actually go into Facebook later on to rewatch the session again. So next week we will have our another speaker here will share about KLCC property. Okay, one of the KLCC property. So stay tuned. Okay, next Saturday 2 p.m. We will see you again. All right. Okay, we thank you everyone, and thank you very much, Carolyn, once again. Yeah, stay home, stay safe. See you. Bye bye.
Bye.